Now we have with us an interesting guest, Mr. Clive Mayhew, founder and CEO of Golf.ai. He is a visionary entrepreneur with a deep passion for golf and technology. At the heart of his vision in Golf.ai, a cutting edge platform designed to reshape the golfing experience. More than just a digital assistant, Golf.ai aims to be the go to AI powered ecosystem for golf enthusiasts worldwide. From managing golf media and enhancing engagement to acting as a real time rules assistant on the course, Golf.ai is set to redefine how players interact the game. His mission is to build the most advanced digital golf platform, empowering golfers and industry professionals alike. Today, Clive would be talking about building the number one AI destination for golf, with creating partner APIs from tee times to player stats and GPS locations. We welcome you, Clive.
Thank you so much. Great to be here. Thank you. Clive Mayhew. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Golf.ai. We're the number one AI destination for golf. I'm just going through a few of my slides here that I have just to sort of give you the context of what we're trying to do. So AI in sports, relatively to some of the other AI markets, is just beginning to start. But we're starting to see a huge amount of growth. It's going to grow by 30% per annum every year. And there's going to be various different AI markets in sports. The race is on. You can see the history here of what's been happening in AI across some other sports. And now what we believe has happened is that the golf will be the next big play for AI. So the question isn't if, it's who will lead this transformation. And obviously, I think that will be Golf.ai. So it's what we're trying to do is we're actually leading the AI revolution in golf, trying to build an ecosystem. And let me just give you a little bit of context of that for people to understand. Obviously, I'm going to talk today about our AI-powered tools, our AI Caddy, our AI scorecard, AI golf rules, and what's in my bag, and how we integrate into APIs to enable them to happen. But more importantly, as we go forward, it's going to be across the whole golf industry. So we're going to have golf industry stakeholders, the golf courses, the golf pros, the golf managers, the coaches, all of them having data-driven insights. And we're going to grow an AI ecosystem by seamlessly uniting the data, the analytics, and the next generation of tech across the golf value chain. It's very exciting to be in this space, and it's very exciting to be in what is typically a very old space, both for the players and also from a technology perspective. So we really are bringing it to life. This is our what we see as being the revolution of using AI. And the focus really of this round and where we are right now is on the B2C side. So our AI Caddy, which also includes our what's in our bag, AI Tee Times, and AI Media Hub with the AI scorecard. As you can see, what we're trying to do as the enabler of this is really to link in to our B2B partners, the course data, the booking partner information, and it's all about API and data integration. So let's talk about the product which we're very excited about, AI Caddy. This is the first one in the world where we have an AI conversational caddy. So think you're on the golf course, you're on the first tee, you go to Golf.ai, and it says, do you want to play golf? And you say, yes, let's play golf. It says, then it brings up one of our characters, and here he is, here, a caddy assistant. And literally you press that and he'll tell you it's a par 4 that's set to challenge our players today. From the tee, it's a full carry of over a rugged terrain of rough to the green. The putting surface is guarded by a collection of sand traps, 3 on the left side and 2 on the right. A row of tall trees in line of the hole with some rough areas to the left. As you can see, it's a conversation between the software and the player. Now, how are we doing this? Well, it's all API calls. So this is why this conference for me is so exciting, because literally we're calling several APIs. So the first API is to the GPS data set, tells us exactly where you are on the golf course and where the actual golf hole is. So over the last 10 years, there's been a number of providers who have mapped out golf courses around the world. So we have access to over 40,000 golf courses through these golf course APIs. And so it tells me, from a software perspective, that I'm on the first tee and all of these trees are over here, these bunkers are over here, the holes over here, tells me all the distances. And then literally we call those APIs and we put an AI generative front end to that and we produce this conversation. Now, that's not the only API we use. So the API is there for the GPS, but we're also getting an API for the live weather. So the live weather feed is coming in at the same time, which we also use the two together. Then now we also have the players, what we call what's in my bag, which is all the details about the golf clubs that the player is using. So they take a video of their golf bag. The video we use through an AI engine, which converts that to the actual club itself. The club itself, then we go to another data set where we actually get the average distances for people hitting those clubs for that sex of that person and for the handicap of that person. So typically a 7-iron for me would go 145 meters or 160 yards. So once I've taken the what's in my bag, I've got that data on my in golf.ai, I can then change it if I know that that's a little bit, I can hit it further or less. And then I have those numbers. And that's another data set which we're calling in when we're generating this AI on top of it. So hyper-personalized personal information about the player, weather conditions, GPS coordinates, and then all of that combined together creates this generative AI interface. And literally you take your first shot, you hit your drive, you walk to the ball, and you call the caddy again. When you call the caddy again, we then at that point we're taking another snapshot of the next shot, but we also know where you are on the golf course. So if you tend to hit the ball to the right, after a few shots, we'll be able to track that. And actually, we'll be able to also use that data point to tell you, actually hitting the ball a little bit right today. Therefore, we suggest you actually position yourself to the little left of the pin, for example. So all the time we're creating these data sets which are helping the golfer get better and play better on the golf course. Now, one of the things we developed right at the beginning was we have what's called an AI golf rules. And that's a data set which we built. It's taken us about 12 months to build that data set, where you can ask any golf rule just by interacting with AI. So I'm in the bunker. What is the shot? What can I do in the bunker? I've grounded my club in the bunker. What's the penalty? And it'll tell you it's a 2-shot penalty or 1-shot penalty, whatever the rules are, and it'll reference those rules. So what's interesting, because we have interactive AI rules at the same time as you're playing the golf, we actually also can advise you as you're going around the golf course on any rules that you may have. So you've got the caddy and the golf rules working interactively together. Now, if you're a keen golfer, you will know that our AI caddy actually breaks the rules. So one of the rules of golf is you can't have assistance while playing a round of golf. So even if you're in a competition and you're playing seriously in a competition, you can't use our AI caddy as what they call a performance enhancing tool. So you can't use it. It's illegal to use it. You'll be disqualified. However, what we built in our AI caddy was 2 different modes. You can play what's called a social round, which means that all of our functionality is turned on. And as I explained before, you can have the caddy to help you around, or you can have what's called a competition round. And the competition round turns off all these external features which are not legal in the rules of golf. So you can still use AI caddy. You just have to tell your AI caddy assistant whether you're playing in a competition or whether you're playing socially, and we will work out what you can actually use legally around the game of rule, because we have the AI golf rules built into our service. So you can see that from an AI perspective, that the caddy, pretty interesting application for AI, generative AI. It's using proprietary data sets unique to ourselves. It's voice to voice. Now, voice to voice is very interesting, because as you're walking around playing golf, this phone is very distracting. And today you could use the phone to do what we call GPS coordinates and maps of the hole, but it's very, very distracting. So we tell people, keep your phone in your bag, in your golf bag, use your headphones, talk to our caddy, and let's have a voice-to-voice communication. So right now we have that on golf.ai. we're working on something which we're really excited about, which is the integration into WhatsApp. So eventually you'll just be able to do a WhatsApp telephone call with our AI caddy, and you'll be able to have a WhatsApp call, which will cost you nothing. And you'll be able to do the AI caddy over WhatsApp. We're quite excited about that. So voice to voice, from my point of view, is the future of probably, I think, mainly all of UXs. So the universal interface now, I think, going forward with AI will be voice. You can use chat as well, but you use chat, you've got to get your phone and you've got to chat in there. So voice, I think, is very, very powerful, particularly for sports like this, where you want your focus to be on the sport, not necessarily on the mobile device. So we have advanced geolocation algorithms, 40,000 courses. We have the weather, the elevation, and we have pro caddy advice. It's all personalized for the golf distances and tendencies, and it's learning more and more as you play. So, we literally, it'll get better and better, right? And then we can tell you, when you go back to the same golf course, how you played it last time on the first tee. So do you remember this time, when last time you played, you hit the ball to the right? Like, now that's, most golfers remember those things anyway, but they probably don't remember that out of the last 10 rounds they played on this hole, 6 of them went to the right, 4 of them went in the middle. Now, that helps a golfer a lot because they typically only think about the last game of golf they played, whereas what we can do this is make this hyper-personalized around their tendencies over time. So it makes it incredibly more powerful. And I'm just going to show you on this slide, this is the custom AI partners. You can choose one of 12 of our partners. They're all got different voices. We have 30 languages. So AI is AI. You can talk to it in French, Spanish, Italian, Korean, Japanese, and it'll talk to you in that language. It has AI golf rules built into this. So you can call and ask for a golf rule at the same time, multi-language support, and most importantly, it's all voice integration. Now, how do you book a tee time for golf courses today? So tee times have been digitized over the last 10 years. There's some great tee time booking services you can go to. And literally, you just use your phone or you use a web interface and you go online, you tell it the date, the time you want to play. It looks up for bookings and you can see that what's available and you can book over the web. So what we're doing is we're actually flipping that model completely, and we're voice enabling tee time bookings. So the same idea is we use an API to the software providers of the booking services. So there's probably 30 software companies in the world who do what we call golf management systems, where they have tee times for golf courses. And we're API integrating into those to look for available tee times. However, we're building a travel front end concept to it. So you ask my tee time agent, you just say literally, I want to play in Spain on the 15th of February. What's available? Would you like me to give you a demo of that? Yeah, I'll show you. I'll give you a very simple demonstration of that.
Hi, I'm John. Can I help you book your upcoming golf round in Spain, Portugal, or Ireland?
John, book it in Spain for the 24th of March for 4 people in the morning.
Which golf course in Spain you would like to play at? Here are some options. 1, El Campo de Logroño. 2, Iski Golf. 3, Club de Campo.
Let's play 3, Club de Campo.
It seems like you might be referring to El Campo de Logroño. Is that the course you meant?
Yes, that's the course I meant.
I can proceed to find a...
Okay, so everybody's seen that sort of stuff, right? It's just voice. So I'm talking now to a voice booking agent who's then linking through our service through an API to the software provider to find those tee times. And then we present that back. We finish the telephone call by a very simple message that we send to the phone, which is the booking link directly through to our API partner. Or we could send an email, depending on what the option is for the player. So you can see here's a great example for a service we're developing in Dubai. There are 3 golf courses. That's the travel information, which we can tell them as well by having a little travel API into that. And then the tourism information, obviously, you want to go to Dubai, you want to understand more about the experience of going to Dubai. So the same interaction with that, as we just said. Again, using WhatsApp as probably the vehicle to do this through, because it's a very simple voice technology with 1 billion users on that platform already. So you can see the power of a tee time booking agent, as well as having the other AI experiences. And then golf is an interesting sport. People love golf. They don't love just playing for themselves. They love to watch professional golf. So we have an AI media hub, which basically connects to the professional golf tours. And here we have an AI-generated podcast. So it's all a data set in AI, which we generate the podcast with. We also have some incredible stories which are generated through AI, through a data set. This one here on the left side, our AI scorecard, again, it's something we think is incredibly new and incredibly powerful. If you play golf, you'll understand the importance of keeping your score and scorecard. For 156 years, people did it on a piece of paper. Then they started to put it into a mobile phone when they scored that. Now, the future is what we call AI scorecards. So you will literally have your scorecard and AI will generate a summary of your round of golf. So here's an example on the, I think this is the American Express tournament on the PGA Tour. Step Strecker won that recently. His first round was a score of 65, and we generated the actual AI interactive component of that. Step Strapper's performance in round 1, finishing 7 under with a total of 65 strokes, showcases an impressive display of skill and consistency. So you can see we're generating the content. So we're dynamically generating AI-based content around scorecards for professional tours. But that's just the start. Every scorecard in the world over the next 2 to 5 years will become AI enabled. So you'll be able to look at my own history of my golf game through my scorecards and have an AI commentary on my game of golf. You can do it over 20 rounds or over 100 rounds, do it over the last 2 rounds. But the AI scorecard is incredibly interesting in terms of doing that. How do we do that from an API perspective? Well, we're just linking into the scorecard data providers, and there's a number of them. So for the professional tours, they have them themselves, but then also there's associations, golf associations around the world who run what they're called handicap systems. And the handicap systems is my previous 20 rounds of golf. So all I do is integrate my AI into those handicap systems to get the personal data around those 20 rounds of golf, and then I put the AI layer on top of that. So it's incredibly interesting to do that. And I think it's going to happen pro golf, amateur golf, all the tours around the world, and also down to the individual consumer playing golf. So AI scorecard, we think is incredibly interesting and powerful. So I don't want to talk about the revenue stuff. I just want to focus on the API stuff today. But that's just an introduction to my business and what we're building. Now, you did ask me some questions, and let me see if I can bring them up and have a conversation with you. I'll just stop sharing my screen now.
Sure.
So how are APIs transforming?
Should I start?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Like the first question, what I was thinking of asking you is, like, you are talking about AI, you're talking about golf, you're talking about APIs. So how are the APIs transforming the ways, basically, the golf data you collect, how it is utilized, how it is analyzed, if you can explain that.
Sure. So what's happened in golf over the last 10 years is there's been a number of what we call golf management software providers and golf associations who really have been digitizing the game of golf. So the core data elements of golf have been digitized, and that's really important to understand. We're not reinventing this. People are not producing data from scratch. This is data which people have been using now for over 10 years. So what we do from an AI perspective is we are interfacing into the API calls of our partners. So in the tee time example I gave before, we work through several tee time providers, and we just literally interface into their back-end data set for available tee times. With the GPS location application I said, which is our AI Caddy, we're interfacing into the GPS coordinates provided by a data company that does that. So I estimate in the golf industry there's probably about 300 different data sets to interface into. We've probably so far integrated to maybe 20 or 30 of them. So we've still got a long way to go, but it's very exciting that how APIs enable us to do a very different approach to solving the problem that they've been doing typically with websites and mobile apps before.
Okay. So like next question is, what role does AI powered data play in modern golf? Like golf has been going on from decades. So like what is the role of AI data, and how does the player track their performance, and how can it be done?
So I'll give you a few examples. My AI Caddy, I can track the performance of someone playing golf on the golf course. Now, people, golfers have it in their head, okay, and they're pretty good at remembering how they get around a golf course. The younger ones are very good at remembering every game of golf, right? But as you get older, you don't really remember them that often. Right? So what we have is a hyper-personalized memory, if you like, of every golf shot you have, and you can recall it at any point. So that's used in our AI coaching services. So literally, I can tell you, first tee, you typically hit it off to the right, right? You typically, and most golfers would have an understanding of that, but they never have the accuracy of the data which we have. So what's going to happen in coaching and performance is we're going to get an access to data which has just never been had before. And AI will be able to interpret that data. You'll be able to have algorithms to understand it more, the coaching, the swing analysis. Already these applications exist out there. We're just integrating those data sets and putting an AI front end so people can actually understand those data sets a lot better. So more data sets, easier to understand, makes this a very powerful way to improve your game of golf.
Okay. So how do APIs enable the real-time golf analytics? And what is the impact they do on players and coaches?
I think it's very similar to what I just answered the last one. I think that, to be honest, golf analytics and having this real-time data, people have never had it before. And people, even when they have it, they've never really understood it. So I'm going to give you some examples here. We have a piece of technology which a lot of the professional golfers use, which is they track a lot of the data impact numbers. So how you hit a golf ball, it's the angle of attack, it's the path you're coming in on. There's a number of big providers like TrackMan and Foresight who actually track these data sets for professional golfers. And you can go and have your swing analyzed and have all those data sets. But people are not connecting them to your on-golf experience, and they're not using them in a way where you can connect the two together. Professional golfers, I think, are, because they have coaches around them, they have all those data sets. And you can see every golf tournament today, they've got an iPad. When they're hitting the ball, they're checking to see their stats before they go out to the golf course. That technology now is becoming more accessible to every golfer. And that's really what we'll start to see, from using your mobile phone to track the data points, to using it on site, and then having AI to give you a real understanding of what that does and how you can change your game appropriately.
Okay. So like, what are the challenges? Like you are into the field from such a long time. So what are the biggest challenges in standardizing and integrating golf related data across different platforms?
I don't think it's ever been done before. So
Okay.
it's such a challenge, right? So what we're trying to do is we try to build multiple data sets to access them and bring them in to make the game more accessible, fun, and easier to use. So it's like we're literally, we're pioneering the whole space in golf. So we're building it as we can, as the best we can, thinking about everything we're going forward. The challenges are it's just never been done. So we are literally inventing it from scratch. But tech is tech, right? So the people doing this have built other tech systems in the past, so we have an understanding how to do it. We think we're pretty good. We think we're doing a good job, but it is very early in the space.
Okay. I would like to understand, how APIs enhance fan experience into golf, like from live score tracking to personalized insights. Like, how is the fan experience?
So the biggest fan experience that I showed before was just my AI scorecard. So the idea of an AI scorecard is literally every part of the scorecard is interactive. So round one, I got 64. Round two, I had 72. So how did I get 64 and 72? You literally just click on the interactive scorecard, opens up the round of 64, and it goes through the whole round. So you actually had 6 birdies, which is why you get 64 from holes 6 to 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever that is. On round two, you didn't have any birdies, right? So from a fan's perspective, I watch live golf on the TV. I love live golf on the TV, but I want to scratch a bit further. So typically fans in a TV world are guided by the commentators, which is all about the live action at that point in time. But golf is a lot more nuanced than that. You need to understand maybe how this player has played this course before. You need to maybe understand there's some stats called strokes gained. How many putts did he have yesterday? All of those data points we enable through our AI scorecard. So it gives an incredibly easy way to interact, not just for one golfer who's leading the tournament, but for the 155 golfers who are part of that tournament. And you may have one of the player you follow is not leading today, so you never even see him on television. But you want to see his round and you want to understand and interact with that scorecard. So we open it all up and make it a lot more accessible. We think the fan experience is going to fundamentally change with AI, particularly this level of data and understanding this data.
Okay. So what are the opportunities do APIs create for golf broadcasters, betting platforms, or the fantasy golf applications?
That one I just said is the application for betting. so it's Thursday night. Okay. So typically golf is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. So the majority of the bets that go on are actually on the Sunday. So people bet before the tournament starts. The end of day one, people bet again. So on the end of day one, people want to see all the stats from what those players have been doing. I give them 1 minute after the end of the play. I give them interactive AI stats to help them understand what they should be betting on. Now, do I go to the next level and give them fantasy golf things? No, I don't. But probably someone will want to do that. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. The golf betting market is quite a large market. So, the moment we're just reporting, we're giving the interactivity, people can understand, use that and apply their own betting. There may be another layer of AI on top of that says, therefore, at the end of today, our prediction is this, right? Because we know the stats and we can put an AI model on top of that to give predictions. And we honestly believe that this player who's in eighth position right now, odds of 20-1 is probably the best person to bet on from a odds perspective too. So betting, I think, is going to be quite interesting. In terms of golf broadcasters, they literally are trying to broadcast a live event, right? So they focus on the 3 or 4 players who are in contention. This allows them not so much in their live broadcast feed, but on their websites to have an interactive understanding of what's been going on during the day, of which possibly you can connect the scorecard to some of their previously recorded video content to show the example. So, I said that example before. This player shot 64 in round 1. Here's the 4 holes he got birdies on. Click on that, see the video. Not just the text, see the video of that. So experience it again, not necessarily live broadcast, but using their content time and time again to make the experience better for the fans.
Okay. So, how do APIs bridge the gap between amateur players and the professional golf players through accessible solutions? How is that shaping up right now?
Yeah. So we can keep the AI scorecard as an example. As AI scorecard is, when I play golf, I want to play the best golf I can play. So if I know from my AI scorecard, how I've played this hole previously, how all of my stats, it's very powerful for me. So what we try to do is it's try to make golf as accessible for everybody. And AI as a technology will have such an impact on amateur golf, just in terms of helping people improve. Now, one element of this is where we started from was our AI golf rules. So the majority of people play golf not really understanding the rules, and all the time they're challenged by the rules. So having a voice interface just to ask a rules question in any language you like and get an understanding of the rules question is very, very helpful for every game, every amateur or every player of golf. So we believe that will speed up the round of golf as well. So there's many applications for AI.
Okay. And what are the key monetization strategies, for API-driven golf applications and platforms? Because
Yeah,
at the end, everything is money.
Yeah, sure. So there's a cost to building all of this, right? And then there's a cost for the generative AI components. So all of the, the tokens which we spend with the LLMs to enable this to happen. There's a cost behind that. There's a cost of the development. There's a cost to market all of this. So right now it's very early. If I was to say I knew what the monetization will be for this in the next 3 years, I think I would be silly because it's way too early to make that decision. However, we have some proven things from the past. So, for example, the GPS scoring apps, which you can use today on the course, they typically have a free service, and then they have a premium service, which you pay per month. So one of the things we're exploring is we're going to have multiple APIs, multiple services, so AI Caddy, AI scorecards, the golf rules, all those multiple services, and maybe you bundle them together and you pay a premium for that as a consumer. Maybe the golf course pays for you. So there's various ways of doing this. We produce enough value, people will pay. So I'm a great believer that, focus on the value, create value, give a great experience, and it will monetize itself.
Okay. So last question for you, how do you see the future of, driving and shaping the golf industry globally?
Well, it's just about to happen. And I think there's no way it's going to stop. So what's interesting about golf is predominantly that there's 45 million golfers and there's 70 million golf fans in the world. Okay. 50,000 golf courses around the world. Typically the players of golf are business people, and they, come from successful business backgrounds. All those business people now are using AI in their businesses and using AI to do their marketing. And they're starting to understand the power of using voice technology to interface into their applications. So I think that when they go play golf, they'll be looking for the same experiences. So I'm a great believer that golf will be one of the first adopters, not necessarily because the game of golf, it's because the golfers themselves will be AI enabled and using it for many different applications in their life. Once you start using AI, as everybody I'm sure on this call today will understand, it's just life-changing. You don't go back. I don't use Google search anymore. I just don't use it anymore. I use a number of these AI services, and it's so much better. And I also trust it. So social media, I think, has lost a lot of trust with people. AI has rediscovered the trust with people. And I'm just so looking forward to, empowering these millions of people who really enjoy AI, but also love the game of golf.
Okay. Any few parting words, before the session gets over?
No, I just want to say, probably coming into this, most people will not have thought about golf as being such an exciting area for AI innovations, and also how critical APIs are to building this. So I just wanted to open people's imagination to it, and sort of it's very, very early in this space. We've got a long way to go. It's just the beginning, but it is going to be one of the sports which I think will be truly driven by AI in the next couple of years.
Thank you, Clive, for this informative session and sharing your insights with us.
You're very welcome.
Your expertise and valuable perspective has truly enhanced our understanding and inspired all of us, all the viewers and the audience listening to us. We appreciate you taking your time out and sharing your knowledge once again.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it. Thank you.